Over the last few weeks, Broncos rookie quarterback Bo Nix has put up superstar numbers, accounting for 11 total touchdowns in his last 4 games. Nix has also established a strong connection with veteran wideout Courtland Sutton, who has been a direct beneficiary of Bo Nix's success, averaging nearly 10 targets and 93 receiving yards per game in the same time span. Sutton has been one of the biggest surprises of the fantasy football season, but can he be trusted heading into the fantasy playoffs? Let's watch the film to find out. So starting off with our first clip, we're going to see Courtland Sutton matched up with Jacorian Bennett, the Raiders defensive back. He's going to start off in his release, throw out an inside fake, and then start his way up the sideline, flying upfield on this go route. And something you'll notice is that he doesn't really have a ton of separation the whole time, but Bo Nix is able to throw this ball to where only Courtland Sutton can get it. He makes the adjustment, reaches back, uses that physicality of his, and is able to make the catch for a huge gain. Again, watch Sutton at the top of your screen. Nix snaps it. There's the inside fake from Sutton. He's going to step down and then flip back outside. Right there. Gets just a step. That ball from Nix, great. Sutton goes up and gets it. Fantastic catch with that 6'4" size he has. We'll see it better on this angle. But Nix, love these uniforms by the way, takes the snap, fires it back. And right here, that ball is only where Courtland Sutton can reach back and get it. He's able to use his physicality to get just a bit of separation from Bennett, reach back, make this catch. Huge gain, gets both feet down, and it ends up being defensive pass interference. So Sutton fighting through the contact and making the catch, great play. So last play, we were able to see Courtland Sutton operate in a scenario against press man coverage, where the defensive back can get hands on him early and try to slow him down. Now we're going to see Sutton against zone coverage. We'll see if he can still make these catches, if he's still on the same page with quarterback Bo Nix, and if he can still get some separation. So the Chargers are in a 2-deep safety look, with 2 deep zones back here with the defensive backs, and then a variety of zones over the middle of the field with these 5 players. This defensive back is also going to fade back with Sutton, as we'll see. Sutton will start his route, break in just a bit, and then fade back out towards the back of the end zone. Again, one of these fade routes where Bo Nix is just able to throw up the ball and hope Sutton comes down with it, which most of the time he's able to do because he is a great 50-50 ball receiver. To his credit, the defensive back doesn't bite on the fake very much and has pretty good coverage when Sutton fades back, but he doesn't read the ball very well, and Sutton's able to get behind him and dive for the touchdown. Starting off here, Nix takes a snap. Sutton breaks inside right here. He's going to flip upfield. Nix already has his eyes glued to Courtland Sutton. He's ready to throw this ball. Sutton breaks upfield. Nix has already thrown the football. That speaks to how much trust Nix has in Courtland Sutton. Sutton hasn't achieved any separation. He has a defensive back covering him, but Nix has already thrown this football, trusting Sutton to get to the back of the end zone, where it's going to be thrown on a dime to where only Sutton can get it. This defensive back, unfortunately, is going to read the ball very poorly. Sutton continues upfield. There's the ball. Right here, the corner underplays this way too much. He doesn't recognize that the ball is going to be deeper in the end zone than it actually is. Sutton does. He has his eyes on the ball the whole way. Sutton dives to the back of the end zone, catches it, touchdown. Huge play for the Broncos. We'll watch it one more time. And what a throw from Nix. What a catch from Sutton. Throws it immediately. Right here, the corner doesn't play the ball very well. Lets Sutton get behind him. And he lays out for a fantastic catch for the touchdown. This next play, we're going to see man coverage across the board, but the matchup to pay attention to is Courtland Sutton against the defensive back Mike Jackson of the Panthers. Also worth noting, there is a safety playing a deep zone back here that's going to try to make a hit on Sutton as he's trying to catch this ball. Sutton's going to be running a post over the middle of the field and is able to get a lot of separation. Sutton does a great job selling this route vertical all the way up until the break, and Mike Jackson, because he's ready to run with Courtland Sutton deep, flips his hips to the sideline, ready to run backwards. Because Sutton sold that vertical, right on the break inside, Mike Jackson has to flip his hips back inside, follow Sutton, who's already gotten a ton of separation against him, and is beaten on the route. Sutton, top of your screen. Nix snaps it. And right here, Sutton has sold this route vertical. So Mike Jackson has flipped his hips, ready to run downfield. Jackson will have to flip his hips around, follow him in like we said. Sutton breaks inside, right there. Great break. Nix throws the ball. Perfect timing right over the middle between the safeties. We'll watch that one more time. Nix snaps it. Sees Sutton win the one-on-one. Perfect ball, perfect timing. Gorgeous throw. Huge game for the Broncos. The Broncos observe that the Panthers are playing pretty off coverage. It's a pretty soft man coverage look, with the defenders about 10 yards away from the line of scrimmage. So the Broncos are going to run crossers that takes really good advantage of this defensive look from the Panthers. We're going to have one here, one here, and then Courtland Sutton, opposite direction over this way. And on these crossing routes, if you're paying close attention, you'll see these receivers put small breaks in the crossing routes as they shift from running vertically to running at slightly more of an angle. And you'll see to take better advantage of this off-man coverage, Sutton's going to put the break in his route a lot sooner than the other receivers. So this defensive back in man coverage is going to have a lot more ground to make up than J.C. Horn would, the defensive back over here. Sutton also has great leverage to the inside because this defensive back is closer to the sideline than he is, so he's able to break inside and run this crossing route without much resistance at all. Sutton at the top of your screen. There's his break right there. He started it before the other receivers have started theirs. Against the defensive back, he has a lot more ground to make up because of the poor leverage situation he was put in, with Sutton already running away from him. Sutton continues crossing the field. Nix finds him. Good throw. Right on time. Great placement. Sutton gets some yards after the catch as well. Really good play there from the Broncos offense. We'll see Nix take the snap on the replay. Finds Sutton over the middle of the field. Perfect ball placement right in his hands. And some yards after again. This next play, we're going to see a disguised coverage look from the Ravens defense. They're initially showing a lot of pressure with 6 guys at the line of scrimmage, but Courtland Smith, the linebacker, and this defensive back over here are going to drop back into a zone coverage. How the zones shake out, we're going to see a deep zone back here, and then I believe it's Kyle Hamilton playing a zone around here as well. This defensive back drops back into zone a bit shallower, so we're going to have 2 zones deep on the strong side and then 1 zone shallow. We're going to see kind of the opposite on the weak side here. Nate Wiggins, the defensive back, is going to drop back into a deep zone. We're going to have Courtland Smith occupying this side of the field right here in a zone back here, then number 10 finding a zone over here. So we're going to have 3 zones over the middle, 2 zones on the strong side, 1 deep zone on the weak, and then we have the deep safety playing coverage back here as well. This receiver is going to run a deep go route, crossing paths with this defender, taking him out of his zone and upfield. Then we're going to have Sutton run kind of a soft out route and then find some space up here as he goes upfield. This defender initially looks like he's going to be covering Sutton, but he keeps his eyes on the quarterback and also on the running back in the flat, so he's going to stay a bit shallower, hoping to prevent anything coming out of the flat, like the running back or Bo Nix using his legs. Because this DB is flying downfield, this DB up here is playing shallower. We're going to have a huge hole right here in the zone coverage where Courtland Sutton's going to operate and find a lot of space and even move around upfield a bit to get some extra yards. So sorry for the long explanation, but it was a pretty complex look from the Ravens. Just wanted to break that down. And again, here's Courtland Sutton. Ravens showing pressure. Nick snaps, they drop 2 back. And right here, here's deep safety. We have the 2 zones here and Nate Wiggins in the deep zone. Again, watch this defender keeping his eyes in the backfield on the quarterback. He's going to stay shallow into his zone. This receiver taking this defender deep. Hamilton playing more the middle of the field. And this is the space right here that's going to open up right near the sticks. Sutton breaks the sideline, finds some space. Wide open, Nix hits him. The hole in that zone coverage. Fantastic scheming from the Broncos against this complex Ravens defense. We're going to see a replay here. Nix takes a snap. Goes through his reads. Sees Sutton wide open. Hits him with a great throw. Big play. On this next play, we're going to see the Broncos take advantage of this zone coverage yet again. We're going to have a deep safety playing way downfield. When the ball is snapped, we're going to see these defenders playing deeper zones towards the sideline. These 2 defenders take to the flat, guarding anything close to the line of scrimmage, and these 2 linebackers have zones over the middle of the field. The routes to pay attention to are Sutton, who's lined up right here. He's going to run a crosser right behind the zones of these linebackers. One of the most important parts of this play is the receiver down at the bottom of your screen. He's going to run a deep go route to clear out this defensive back right here, take him downfield, and hopefully make some space for Sutton right where his zone was right here. Then this crossing route, hopefully taking some of these linebackers just a bit to the right in their zones for good measure. So in short, the goal of the play is to move this guy backwards and these guys to the right so Sutton can find space right here. Again, Sutton at the top of your screen. Nix takes a snap. Sutton on the crossing route. Right here you can already see it. Defensive back flying downfield. This linebacker has eyes on this route. This one has his eyes on the quarterback. No one's watching Courtland Sutton. He's able to sneak past. A ton of open space there. Makes a huge high point catch. The ball maybe a little high from Nix. Great catch from Sutton. But again, great scheming from the Broncos. Opening up a huge hole for Sutton in this zone defense. And good throw from Nix finding him. Great catch from Sutton. Getting up high. There it is. High pointed football. Huge catch. Great hands. Great play. Let's take a break from the video for just a second to talk about some of the perks we offer with our YouTube channel membership. Starting off with the sleeper tier, it's only $2.99 per month. You get a free 2-month trial of our pro subscription on our website, priority replies for your comments, and then custom FTR badges as well to put in the comments. we have our contender tier, which is early access to videos, and your username will be among our member shoutouts we put on this channel, in the film breakdowns we create. And then finally, something really cool we're doing. In the league winner tier, you can request one film breakdown per month on a player that maybe is on your fantasy team, maybe is on your favorite real life NFL team, but you are allowed to request the film breakdown of one fantasy football player per month, and we will post it right here on this channel for everyone to see. So if you're interested, go become a channel member with the link in the description, and it'll be a great way to support our channel as we continue to grow. Thank you guys. Let's get back to the video. This next play, we're going to have man coverage against a dominant Chiefs defensive unit. Even worse for him, he's matched up with one of the best cornerbacks in the entire league, Trent McDuffie. He's been dominant against opposing receivers this year, and he's made a name for himself as one of the best cornerbacks in the entire league over the last few seasons. The Chiefs are going to bring 6 guys at the line of scrimmage, these 5 defenders here, and then Nick Bolton around the edge. The safety here drops in a zone over the middle here. The other safety as well comes up closer to the line of scrimmage, plays a zone around here. 2 zones over the middle, and then man coverage. As well, the Chiefs bring in some pressure. We're going to see Sutton run a curl on McDuffie. He's going to have a really nice release, work his way to the outside, wait for McDuffie to flip his hips. Because Sutton has sold this vertical, he's flipped his hips to run vertical with Sutton downfield. Sutton breaks it back violently. McDuffie is thrown off the route and gives up a ton of separation against the Broncos receiver. So really fantastic route from Sutton. McDuffie beaten in coverage, and we'll watch the play. Sutton at the bottom of your screen. Nick snaps it. Right here, there's the release from Sutton, working to McDuffie's outside shoulder, making him believe that this might be a fade route. McDuffie flips his hips towards the sideline, running with Sutton. Sutton sees this, flips back into the curl. McDuffie gives up so much separation. It is an easy read for Bo Nix. Gets the ball to him. Solid game for the Broncos. Really great route. We're going to be in the same situation with Courtland Sutton, matched up with McDuffie in press man coverage again. The Chiefs bring a ton of pressure this time. They bring almost all these players to the line of scrimmage. Nick Bolton's going to be playing a spy over the middle of the field in case it's a run play or Bo Nix decides to escape from the pocket. We're going to see the tight end here run a crosser. This safety blitzes on the other side. So we're going to see the corner number 13 follow him. He doesn't have great leverage. He's giving up a lot to the inside on this crossing route, but this safety comes over the top and shuts down this crossing route right here. So Nix's only option really is either to scramble or to throw this go route to Courtland Sutton. Sutton's going to throw out an elite fake to the inside on the release. McDuffie bites, jumps to the inside a bit. Sutton scrambles back outside, flies upfield with incredible speed, gets a ton of separation, and just a good example of Courtland Sutton beating Trent McDuffie off the line. Watch Sutton right there. There's the fake. McDuffie jumps inside just slightly, and he's given up a lot more ground than it seems because Sutton's going to fly outside. Gets the advantage on him. Ton of separation. Great ball from Nix right in the chest to Courtland Sutton. Perfect throw. Elite route. Watch this one more time in full speed. Sutton, top of your screen on McDuffie. Inside fake. McDuffie bites. Just a step. And good separation, perfectly thrown ball. So for the 3rd time, we're going to see Sutton matched up in man coverage with Trent McDuffie. This time, no fancy release or anything, just works his way to the inside shoulder of McDuffie, stops on a dime, and goes back out for the out route. McDuffie thrown off because of how quickly Sutton is able to stop and then change direction super fast and fly towards the sideline. He's going to be wide open for this completion. Good throw from Nix, but a dominating route from Courtland Sutton, getting a ton of separation and completely throwing Trent McDuffie off his platform. Watch Sutton, top of your screen, snaps it, and right here, Sutton has flipped his hips inside. McDuffie wasn't ready for that at all, has to flip around completely to defend this. He's not going to be able to, I'll tell you that right now. So much separation there. Fantastic route. We'll watch it back in full speed. This time without pausing. Sutton, right there, great route, just beats him to the inside with a fantastic stop and change of direction. Really good route. This next play, here's Courtland Sutton matched up with press man coverage against A.J. Terrell. Right off the bat, we're going to see superstar safety Jesse Bates of the Falcons come more towards the line of scrimmage. That's going to leave a lot of space in this part of the field because he's not back there playing a deep zone. We're going to see Sutton work out a nice release with a fake to the outside, then break inside. He's covered pretty well by A.J. Terrell, but that's when quarterback Bo Nix's improvisation breaks out. This defensive lineman gets a decent amount of pressure and is on the outside edge of this offensive tackle here. So Nix is going to try to extend the play. He knows he has to get outside the pocket, but Nix knows if he scrambles out of the pocket to his right, this defensive lineman's going to come out to meet him. So he has to throw some sort of fake to get the defensive lineman to bite inside. To do that, he's going to pump fake to this route over the middle of the field from Devon Vele, who throws out an elite release and gets a lot of separation. So shout out Devon Vele, the rookie wide receiver on the Broncos. Defensive lineman bites inside. Nix scrambles out of the pocket, To extend the play, Sutton sees this. He's going to break up field and beat A.J. Terrell by just a step. Nix is going to throw a perfect ball, and Courtland Sutton's going to make a great 50-50 reception, mossing A.J. Terrell. We'll start the play here. Jesse Bates has come down to play coverage. Anything in the flat. Nix gets the ball. There's the fake. Sutton faking to the outside. He's going to break in here. Nix is going to pump fake to the middle of the field where Devon Vele is. There's the pump fake. Gets the defensive lineman to jump. Then he's going to scramble outside. Find Courtland Sutton, who's moved down the field. Makes a great catch, mossing A.J. Terrell. We're going to watch this one more time in the replay. Play action from Nix. Pump fake. Defensive lineman bites. Nix gets outside. Perfect throw on the run right over A.J. Terrell for Courtland Sutton. Makes a great catch. Now, just to look at some of Courtland Sutton's PFF grades, we can see just over the last 4 weeks, his catch percentage has gone up significantly with Bo Nix's better play, even peaking at 87.5% in week 11 versus the Falcons. Also, something we can see is his yards after catch has improved. In that regard, his last 4 weeks have looked a lot better in this category than his first 6 or 7. Seeing numbers like these in weeks 8 and 9, 34, 33, with 4 or 5 yards after the catch per reception, those are both really strong numbers that can get you more fantasy points per catch with Courtland Sutton. Also, a stat that's remained really strong over the course of the season is his average depth of target, this A dot up here. That's remained over 10 pretty much the entire season, and it averaged out at 13.2 for the year as a whole. So when he's getting targeted, it is down the field, getting you more fantasy points per target. Also, like we saw in the film, Sutton is a big play threat. He's had a play of 20 yards or more in every single week this season, besides week 1 and in week 7. And he's had a play of 30 plus yards in 3 of the last 4 weeks. Those big plays are going to get you a ton of fantasy points come fantasy playoffs. Also, a pretty solid contested catch percentage of 55% down here. He has the size to be that contested catch receiver, and he's doing a good job of that. And just looking down here at his career grades, we are seeing that in 2024, Sutton is having one of his stronger seasons as a pro. He's always had these skills, but he hasn't often had the quarterback who is able to unlock all of his full talent. And we're seeing that Bo Nix may be that quarterback. So what can we gather from this film? Well, Courtland Sutton is a dangerous receiver and can dominate in all aspects of the position. He's a fantastic route runner, he can dominate at the catch point, he's great with contested catches, and he has elite hand-eye coordination. He's been a good receiver in the league for a long time, but he's having one of the best years of his career with rookie quarterback Bo Nix under center. A lot of this has to do with Bo Nix having a really strong rookie year, which is allowing Sutton to dominate even against elite defenses like the Kansas City Chiefs. Even when Sutton isn't able to separate super well, Bo Nix is able to put the football where only his receiver can get it. The Broncos' situation at receiver outside of Courtland Sutton isn't super clear right now, so without a super stable option outside of their leading receivers, Sutton should be able to maintain his current target share. It's undeniable that when Bo Nix plays well, Courtland Sutton usually does too, and as the rookie quarterback continues to get more experience under his belt, I expect Courtland Sutton to continue putting up good numbers in fantasy football, making him a great option for the fantasy playoffs. It's also worth noting that Sutton's playoff schedule is pretty solid. After his week 14 bye, he faces defenses like Indianapolis and Cincinnati, who have been relatively weak this year. So if you're able to trade for Courtland Sutton before your league's deadline, he could provide a lot of value come fantasy playoff season, and maybe even lead you to that league championship. He's getting a ton of targets, and this offensive production in the passing game is at an all-time high. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you want to join the official Fantasy Trading Room Discord server for free fantasy advice, the link's in the description. Also, if you want to support our channel, consider becoming a channel member. There are a ton of great perks that you can get if you join. Thanks for watching. I'm Joe, and this is Fantasy Trading Room.